Hello, welcome to the queue. It is turn 13. It is the KMT USA and it is Operation 20th Corps. Let's look at the KMT. They have $3. They're going to buy a dude. Then they'll collect $3, so I'll leave that $3 there. Let's go over and spend it, or place it, I guess. So we'll place it here in Yunnan on the stack. I do have $2 to upgrade that the FEC gave me. We are going to upgrade one of these militia here in Huichao. So I'll just take that over there, which means I need a chip for here. There we go. All right, so that means there is 8 infantry, 2 cavalry, 3 militia, 1 mountain, 2 AA, 4 artillery, and in Huichao is an infantry militia. That's it for the CCP, the KMT. And like I said, they get $3 for next turn. On to the US. So on the last turn, I was successful in improved construction. So the ships I built saved me $5. So that carried over to this turn for 79. However, I got convoyed for 4. 2 from the Germans, 2 from the Italians. So I have a net of 75. Here's their spend. We're going to finish a battleship, move the carrier 1 stage, and we're going to place a heavy cruiser on the build queue. And we got $10 we're going to spend to declare war on Portugal because we just don't like them. We're going to lend lease the FEC a Marine, the KMT a Mountain Infantry, start a fortification on Midway. We've got 2 militia upgrades, 3 militia, 1 medium armor, 1 fighter, and that leaves us $14. And we're going to see what our tech rolls if they do anything exciting to clean up the last $14. All right, so factories, airborne, and artillery are our 7s. I don't know what happened to our dice. Hang on a second. I think we used them on the other table. Yep, they're way over there. All right, so we had a game here Saturday. Let's roll. All right, so we need orange, yellow, and white. All right, these are all at 7. And we got 1, which is 11, which is artillery. And that is complete. I think that was going to change my buy. I think I might not get that medium armor. I might trade that out for an artillery. All right. Let's move on to the next one here. These are all 8s. Submarines, jets, large ship construction, and heavy armor. We need a green. All right. These are all at 8. Got a 10 and a 12. So we got armor and large ship, which I think is finished. I would have rather had jets. Armor is not on the board, so let's get a marker here. And the heavy armor. All right, so that is stage 1. So we did complete large ship, which means I probably need to start a large ship. I have improved construction, so that would be 6. So let's see. I've got 14. If I trade this armor out for an advanced artillery, that gives me 16. Put that armor back up there. All right, so we want to start a shipyard for 2. That gives me 14. And if we place a heavy battleship, that gives us, I guess I should build 2, and then that would be $2 extra left over. I don't think I need any more militia. I'm thinking if I want to trade that in for an artillery and a transport. I think I need the fighter because that carrier will be done next turn. So we'll let that go. All right, so 2 heavy battleships will go down and we'll save $2. So let me go get those while I'm sitting here. And we'll just put a chip under that heavy battleship. All right. That should be it. Saving $2. So I'll get rid of that. I'll leave that so I remember next turn. And I'll leave that alone because that's going to change, I hope. Let's go to the combat. So we've got here on Puerto Rico a medium bomber with long-range aircraft. Boy, you know what? I thought I could reach there, but I can't. There's sea zones are different. 1, 2. Oh, I can't reach it. That's a stinker. So take that combat off the board. How did I think that? You know what? I thought Puerto Rico hit this sea zone here, A37. I thought I was going to go 1, 2, but I'm not. So that'll be a non-com. Non-com, I'll move it here to Florida, just so I don't forget. So this destroyer in A37 comes off escort that goes up to A25 and goes on escort. And one of these destroyers down here in A47 will come up 1, 2, 3 and go on escort in A37. So that's the escort combats. The other combat, we're coming over here to Portugal. This heavy strategic bomber picks up the airborne in New York. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'll have a movement of 4 left. We've got a fighter and a tactical on this carrier. 1, 2. They'll have a movement of 2 left, but they're just going back to that carrier. So I don't forget this destroyer is just going to follow them up there. All right, so that's the air units, the airborne. We've got 1 transport, this attack transport, bringing out a medium armor and a marine. And we'll go into Portugal. No, we don't want to use the marine because if we take a casualty, we want to take that infantry. All right, so that is the combat here. That'll be non-combat. This transport is strategic naval movement. Oh, no, it's not. Because this is strategic naval movement. All right. So that means we might as well just bring the infantry and the light armor. The light armor will sit out here and the infantry comes in. The attack transport allows that medium armor to come in the first wave. So this will be wave 2. But honestly, if I'm in wave 2, that sucks because there's just a militia there in Portugal. All right, we'll repair that. So this transport will be that move afterwards. All right, that's it for the Atlantic side. On the Pacific, we like New Zealand. We want to get to Helm's Deep here, so we're going to bring in 2 battleships. We're going to bring in this transport with a marine and an infantry. We'll go into New Zealand along with this fighter and tactical. They'll have a movement of 3 left, but they're going to land on the carrier. And then all these ships will funnel over. And that's it. It for the attacks. So let's get this stuff out of here. And that might be enough dice for what we're doing. Let's roll Portugal. I do not have any bombardments because I want to repair that battleship. So we're going to start off with, we'll start off with the high. We'll start with the tactical and then go to the fighter and tank, medium armor. Tactical, it hits, so that battle's over. The defense is that militia. That's why we brought the infantry. All right, so that goes to the U.S. That'll land. All right, so we did lose. Of course, we'd lose. We always lose when we attack militia. So we go up to 63. No one goes down. And I believe Italy will get this Portugal spot here. All right, that's pretty much it for the attacks there, right? Let's go over here to the far side. And we do have 2 bombards here, so 2 at 4. And of course, nothing. And we got a tactical and a fighter. So here's the fighter first, figures, and the tactical second. 6. Nope, that's a 9. We missed everything. All right. Militia at a 2. And an infantry at a 4. Or I guess it's a marine. So they missed. All right, so round 2. Oh, you know what? We didn't fire our marine and infantry. It's mountainous, so I got 2 at 1. This is still round 1. 2 at 1. Nah, it didn't matter. Here's round 2. 2 at 1. Thank you. Let's get rid of those dice. All right, next up was the fighter at 6. There's a hit. Tactical at 7. There's another hit. All right, so that's it. Do we take it, though, because the militia can still hit us? It does not, so we do take New Zealand. Next up is the marine at a 4. We do lose 1. That's painful. So we'll lose the infantry. Oh, no, it doesn't go back to Japan. And we don't get it. It goes back to Anzac. So, but we lose 2 infantry going up against 3 units. How about that? All right. Oh, income. Japan will go down 1. And where's Anzac? They'll go up to 4. Woohoo! Let's do our non-coms, which is I was going to rail one of those infantry to the other side. I think I still will. What other moves here? So the planes here land on the carrier. This heavy strategic bomber will come out 1, 2 into Gibraltar. This transport that's in Gibraltar comes out of port and it grabs the marine infantry, lands them here in Tunis, and it goes in port here in northern Algeria. All right, so that will be it. We will repair our damaged battleship because it did not move. Oh, wait a minute. Where did this infantry? Oh, this is infantry I'm railing. All right, so the last item from this side is strategic naval movement. The marine and artillery will come out of Portugal here, or Uruguay. Come out 1, 2. Let's go to the other side. And 3 into P75. 4, 5 goes into Samoa and goes in port. All right, so this guy here rails to San Francisco. That is that. The other ships here will come in 2 destroyers from P66, destroyer, heavy cruiser, light cruiser from P67. And we are flooding that sea zone. Let's bring down some help, shall we? Battleship, attack transport, marine, and artillery will come out of P29 there. What is that? Hawaii. 1, 2, 3. The transport will go in port, drop off the marine and the artillery for a good time. I've got a destroyer and a heavy cruiser. The heavy cruiser will come down 1, 2, 3, 4 into P. Where's the number? I buried it, didn't I? P73. Is that correct? So it comes out of port. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which means I could bring that destroyer too. Let's see, I got 3 destroyers. He is 1, 2. Okay, so he can't reach with anything but the 2 torpedo boat destroyers. So I think I'm golden. So we will leave this destroyer up here in Hawaii. You know what? Yes, we will. We have a sub here in P25. It has a sub base, so we come out 1, 2, 3, 4 into P47. The battleship and heavy cruiser will just come from P25 and go in port here in Hawaii. The two coastal subs from P31 will come down to P39. We have a transport here which grabs a artillery. I was going to go up and grab that guy. I did mark him to rail, so I think I'll just grab that airborne. And we'll come out 1, 2, 3 and drop them off in P22, or drop them off in Midway, and he'll be in P22. And this transport will just come back here to Hawaii and go in port. So that means I'm not going to rail. I did not buy a transport. So I'm looking over there to see if I didn't buy the transport. So we'll leave them up there in the northwest just for grins. All right, so that is the extent of my movement, right? Let's see, we're going to build that that battleship, advance the carrier. So while I'm here, I'm just going to go ahead and put him here in P25. And let's grab. Okay, so that, not building that transport, I made a mistake on my strategic naval moves. So we'll put that in Washington like I was planning. I was planning on sending that over, but I needed all three of my moves for here. So that was a pre-turn mistake on my part. So San Francisco, actually, this has to come out of the west coast here, Washington, down to Puerto Rico, Sierra Leone, South Africa, Aden, and into Maharashtra. So that's the Marine we're delivering, Lend-Lease. The Chinese KMT mountain infantry, I should have grabbed him too. Oh, the phone almost went over. So he follows the same path, but he comes into the Burma Road and goes into Yunnan. So I got 2 mountain infantry in Yunnan now. All right, the rest of this build, all is pretty much Pacific. So we'll grab all we can grab. And that's completed, so that goes off. Those will go on the build queue. I don't know, I guess I can, oh no, that's just advancing the carrier. This goes on the build queue along with the 2 heavy battleships. All right, this is quite the haul here. Hopefully I can discern it when we get over here. All right, so 2 heavy battleships. Where is that? The heavy cruiser goes here into stage 2. The shipyard we're starting to build here in Samoa. The fort we're starting to build here in Midway. And 2 militia and two upgrades, and then 1 militia. So the 3rd militia goes here in Samoa. So we're not going to put those 2 on because we're just replacing the militia that's in Hawaii and Midway. All right. That is it. Oh, nope. The fighter goes into San Francisco. The fighter that was already in San Francisco comes out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into Midway. So that should be it. I'll do the income when I get on the other side. While I'm here, I'll do a recap. Militia, Alaska. Infantry, Pacific Northwest. Infantry fighter, San Francisco. Battleship in P25. 2 coastal subs in P39. Import in Hawaii is a destroyer, battleship, heavy cruiser, transport. Hawaii has 4 infantry, 1 AA, 1 militia. Midway has 2, 4, 6, 7 infantry, 1 militia, 1 airborne, 1 artillery, 1 fighter. In that C zone, which is P-22, is a transport and 2 subs. P-47 is a sub. Samoa has 2 Marine, 2 artillery, 1 militia. In port is a attack transport and a regular transport. Battleship in P-66. And that's a good question. I had that destroyer up there. 1, 2, 3. Does Japan have long range? No, and they can't get it, so he's safe. All right, so we'll leave it as is. Battleship in P-66. In P-73 is a fighter, tactical, and a carrier. 1 transport, 2 battleships, 1 light cruiser, 2 heavy cruisers, 3 destroyers. And let's go on over here. Tunis has 1 infantry, 1 marine. Transport in North Algeria. Battleship in port in Gibraltar. Gibraltar now is down to just a heavy strategic bomber for the U.S. C Zone A-44 is an attack transport, transport destroyer, fighter, tactical carrier. Portugal, medium armor, light armor, airborne infantry. Destroyer on escort, an A-25 and A-37. Washington, D.C. infantry, advanced artillery. And Florida has a medium bomber. I think that's it. Let's look at our cash. So we are at 63. So let's add $1 there. So that's 63. We saved 2. That's 65. And we have 12. So 77 for next turn. KMT has 3. And that is a wrap. Next up is turn 14 and Germany in the never-ending struggle against communism.